Alright guys, this is Slugfest Wizard doing my UFC 153 preview right now and my picks and predictions. This is kind of frustrating because I just recorded the video a while ago, but I lost it after I had to get a phone call. So uh, this is a card that I predict doing the highest pay-per-view buy rates of this year because it's the big return of George St. Pierre, the most popular of the UFC champions right now. And he's also fighting Carlos Condit on a main card. Um, his former friend and training partner. I don't predict that this is going to be actually that good of a fight because there's no animosity here. Both guys are very cautious, they're patient, and even though Carlos Condit has a lot of finishes, I don't see that he has what it takes to finish a guy like George St. Pierre. And St. Pierre, I think, is just too athletic and explosive, and he's got too many things for Carlos Condit to think about, like Nick Diaz didn't, in terms of he always has the threat of the takedown, which Diaz didn't, of course. So I see Carlos Condit trying to outpoint and frustrate George St. Pierre, but I see St. Pierre mostly just jabbing and countering Carlos Condit throughout this entire fight, and only going for takedowns when there will be about 10 seconds left per round, because Carlos Condit's guard is very dangerous and very slick. And so I've got George St. Pierre winning this fight by a a unanimous decision or a majority decision, and to retain the status as the best 170-pound fighter on the planet. And I'm sure Martin, no, not Martin. Um, Greg Jackson will have good things to say about both fighters after they are done. Next fight. The fight that I'm looking forward to the most on this card, the co-main event, Martin the Hitman Kampmann versus Johnny Hendricks. Okay, I'm going to make this quick. Johnny Hendricks is by far the favorite to win this fight. He's on a 4-fight winning streak and has beaten some pretty good competition. Charlie Brenneman, TJ Grant, Ricardo Funch, Amir Sadala, TJ Wahlberger, if I already said him, Mike Pierce, John Fitch knocks him out with one punch, and Josh Koscheck. His only loss is a close fight to Rick Story, a fight in which I'm trying to remember how it went, and it's difficult. Martin Kampmann, however, has beaten Rick Story. He's also, I think, he's also beat Paulo Thiago, Jacob Volkman. He does have a win over Carlos Condit, Alexandre Barros, Jorge Rivera, Drew McFedries. He submitted Thiago Alves in a fight in which he was losing, and then he knocked out Jake Ellenberger, again in a fight in which he was losing. Martin Kampmann, to me, should be able to win this fight. He's kind of like the Frankie Edgar of the welterweight division, in which he's a slow starter and it takes him a while to just get going. But once he starts to find his rhythm, and by rhythm I mean that type of thing that he does where he'll back up and he'll pick you apart with jabs and powerful hooks, kind of like Chuck Liddell. And I see him getting rocked badly. Like, I see Johnny Hendricks having success early on. I see Johnny Hendricks winning the first round, and he probably is going to win the second round due to his better striking and his aggression. That's going to win him in this fight. But as the fight goes on, I see Martin Kampmann slowly finding a way to win, and I see Kampmann either choking out, submitting Johnny Hendricks with a guillotine in early on in the third round, or knocking him out in late third round. So, Martin Kampmann, I'm gonna pick you, the underdog, to get it done. Just, do your thing, man. Okay, next I'm gonna pick Tom Lawler to defeat Francis Caramont. And I'm gonna pick Rafael Dos Anjos to defeat Mark Bocek, even though, to be honest, Mark Bocek could win that one by submission. But Rafael Dos Anjos is also no real bum off of his back. And in a fight in which they're gonna try to get Mark Hominick finally a win. They put him against Pablo Garza. Mark Hominick, a long and storied career. He's got wins over Yves Edwards and Jorge Gurgel. He also beat George Roop, knocked him out. Leonard Garcia, Yves Yaboin, and then he lost a decision to Jose Aldo, all but a competitive one. And then he tried to run across the cage and knock out Chan Sung Jung and ended up getting knocked out himself. And then he lost a decision to Eddie Yegan in a fight in which maybe he could have won that one. But I've got Mark Hominick winning this fight by knockout or by decision against Pablo Garza, just being the guy that can do a little bit more than him. Although Pablo Garza, and if he goes out there and submits Mark Hominick, that could be it. Hominick could be cut. Okay, we got 5 minutes and 42 seconds. Okay. And for the rest of the card, the preliminary card on FX, here we go. For the winners, I've got Patrick Cote defeating Alessio Sakara. If Patrick Cote wins this one, he's probably going to get cut, and he's probably not going to come back. Unless they go to Canada again. Cyril Diabate to defeat Chad Griggs, even though Chad Griggs has a good puncher's chance. I'm going to pick Sam Stout to defeat John McDessie. Antonio Cavarillo to defeat Rodrigo Dam. Cavarillo. And the Facebook card, I'm going to pick, wasn't Nick Ring supposed to fight on this card? I could have sworn he was. Okay. I'm going to pick John McGuire to defeat Matt Riddle. And I want to pick I was going to pick Azamat Gashimov, the new guy, to defeat Ivan Menjivar, but I'm going to pick Ivan Menjivar to win in the bantamweight division. Okay, and also I'm going to pick Steven Seiler versus Darren Elkins. I'm going to pick Darren Elkins to defeat Steven Seiler. So that's all for right here. Yeah, not great. I'm going to try to put together something better for my UFC on Fox. Which one is it? Well, the Benson Henderson versus Nick Diaz fight. That card looks spectacular. And I'm glad it's going to be live and free for the world to see, because that card truly seems like the type of vehicle that Zuffa and Dana White need to launch the UFC further into the mainstream than it already is, of course, Hopefully they can get another Bonner versus Griffin 1 type moment. And speaking of Stephan Bonner, he kind of maybe hurt his legacy by testing positive for, I don't know if it was steroids, but he tested positive for something after he got destroyed by Anderson Silva. So it's a shame that had to happen. He's not a UFC Hall of Famer. His fight with Forrest Griffin could be in the UFC Hall of Fame. That's all right. But even then, that's it for my card for my video for UFC 154. It's going to be good. At least I hope so. Even though I don't think the main event will be that good. But like I said, I'll predict this doing the highest pay-per-view buy rate in the year 2012. And we're going to get one more really solid card before the year is up. So be cool. And stay in school, guys. Later.